Alright. Starting the stream. So, like it says in the title, I'm gonna be a bit more quiet and chill. I don't really have the energy right now to do a full commentary. But if anybody wants to drop a chat message, have any questions, anything like that, or whatnot, feel free, and I will be monitoring that. We're working on the cover playbook frame. Basically, it's gonna be kind of a super villain school infiltration type of setting. And just because I sometimes attach songs and dedicate a song to if I'm listening to this song or this variant of the song. I'm specifically working on this one thing. The song for the cover has been What Could Have Been from Arcane. Highly recommend checking it out. It's a great show. Mhm. Mhm. I should also bring up to those who uh, have backed mass duos at the NPC tier, you'll be gain an NPC in the list here. And I will work together to try and figure out which playbook, which frame to get them in, and send the categories and try and work through together with that. Thinking through superhero names for a potential enforcer character. I don't think I can use Iron Fist. uh, we'll figure out something. I will. I don't know why I say will. Sometimes I do that. Just say a we for me. Weird. It's me and the voices in the head. Should probably also check to make sure Agent Sharp isn't taken. Good enough. I'll try and not make it too obvious which ones these are my favorites, because I do like basically all the playbooks I'm making, but definitely I've had a lot of this was one of the ones that originally pushed me to make this uh, entire hack was the cover. I really wanted to make this playbook, and I don't think it can work outside of the hack. Hmm. Hmm. I just realized I can pull any of for a lot of these villains. I can just pull names from villains that I've made in my own mass games. Sorry about the volume constantly changing. Uh, Dealing with some setup stuff. can probably use some more fine tooling, but I don't have that in me tonight, so it's probably fine. Martial prowess gives, like, the wrong kind of vibe. Kind of for what I'm thinking for the Steel Sentinel, they kind of have, um, I'll probably be reworking this, but, I'm I'm planning, like, the image in my head is that the Steel Sentinel has, like, the kind of like Vander's gauntlets from Arcane. Um Kind of as like her means of weaponry where it is a brawling but it's like an enhanced brawling. Hence the, steel part of Steel Sentinel. Um and then yeah, I don't know if I like martial prowess, but hmm. Fortified's not the right word. Um So just to answer some questions I've got, um, I don't plan on having any art for the NPCs right now, simply because um, I don't have the funds. I do wish uh, that I could get one piece done for each of the frames, or at the very least, each of the playbook frames, but presently that isn't in the picture. Um, that's kind of all coming out of pocket right now for everything extra that I do. Uh, all the little additional bits and pieces. So I wish I could. I really do. Um, I'd love to get a lot more done and a lot more developed. But yeah, sadly, that's not in the cards. Um, and these NPCs that I'm creating, I'm basically prepping it um, so that, because with how many backers we have, it's basically going to be one, maybe two for each section of these, and so it's kind of like sorting these out, and I want to end up with like 2 to 3 NPCs per. Okay. Um, Martial prowess and forged fists, I think, is going to be what I'm going to call them for now. Um, well, shit. Sorry about the swearing. Uh, I'm just surprised. I thought this would. This usually doesn't. Doesn't take me. This is going by kind of quick, you know. Yeah, I got a bad mouth. I don't really like. Um, I don't want to say chaotic because, like, evidently Ruby RAM very. It's kind of D&D alignment scale. You get agent sharp, lawful good, lawful neutral. um, and then Ruby RAM is like chaotic evil, but I don't want to like write chaotic. Chaotic is too too specific. Um, I'm just gonna placeholder it in. Hmm, capricious. I think that actually works really well. Thanks, Koi. I'm kind of thinking Wyvern Crest Academy for a villain name. How's that sound? Wyvern Crest. I definitely want to check to see if that is taken first. But I actually don't. Looks like there's a Wyvern Academy, which hmm. So there's a Wyvern Academy, at least listed, but it doesn't look like there's Wyvern Crest. So I think we are I think we're good on that front. Wyvern Crest it is. we're gonna stick with Wyvern Crest Academy. I don't think they actually. Here's a little bit of lore for at least the way that I would run them. I wouldn't give them a seal or an emblem or anything like that. Um, because kind of like how you get prep schools where it's like, oh, everybody has to have this nice like dress code with the seal to like be proud of. And I think Wyvern Crest inversely is proud of being more chaotic and of like kind of breaking the norms, kind of stepping away and just like, no, we don't care about that. We're not going to be proud because we're part of an institution. We're going to be proud because it's us. And I think that that's one of the things I really want to stress with this is that like you're not like you aren't a you're not it's kind of like you're not bad because freak embodiment. Yep. um but you're not like a bad person because you go to this place. And while they are prepping people to be villains, it's not necessarily that like you're a bad person. It's just that they're like, yeah, go ahead, break those norms. Go ahead, push back against the governing bodies, push back against Aegis. Um, so like in a setting uh of where like powers are discouraged, I highly think that they would be uh they're like kind of their one of their classes would be on like discrete power use and like ways that you can still get away with. I absolutely think that they have a class dedicated to getting away with stuff. um so that like you can because it's they don't see themselves as the bad guys. They're in a bad situation, they're not the bad guys. They want to just make people the best and the most capable of themselves in this path that they've chosen. It's a trade school of villainy. Let's see. Um, hmm. Yeah, I think that that's gonna be the role that Ruby Ram plays because like it is still to you still need something to like you can't just have a school where everything kind of just is chaos constantly. It needs to be semi-controlled, and I think that that's what Ruby Ram's going to be all about. Is just like making sure that this school can keep running. Yeah, the students can do basically whatever they want to uh, kind of like develop their powers and practice their villainy. They can they get a lot more freedom than in regular school. They can kind of go with whatever they want, but it's kind of like I know I'm gonna go full nerd on this, but Minecraft has anarchy servers, and biggest one is 2b2t, and only reason why you can hack, you can cheat, you can grief, you can do whatever basically on 2b2t, except for build lag machines that drag the quality of the server down so that people can't play the game, and like actual DDoS attacks and stuff. I think that it's kind of the same thing here, where like it is kind of anarchy, it is kind of free reign, whatever you want to do type of stuff, but um, you still have to have a bit of structure within it. Also, apologies if you can't see the text. Um, I that was brought up. I could zoom it in, but frankly, I really don't like typing with larger text than this. I'm already kind of leaning away from my desk, so although that's kind of just the way that I am. Um, so I'll try and I'll stop using the high typing into the highlights, but um, yeah, I'll just apologize for that. That's why I usually read out what I'm writing, but I don't really have the energy today. Hmm. It's worse on the YouTube stream. Could it be like a quality thing, do you think? Like, Twitch is running on, uh, 720, but YouTube has defaulted it to, like, what is it, 480? Probably, yeah. I'm not surprised YouTube's kind of bad about that, of just downshifting quality for no apparent reason. Actually, I think some of my stuff has only been able to go up on 480 on YouTube, which I don't get. Um, I also don't know how to change. So, yeah, sorry about that. Um, two. I think most of these are going to need an extension to their lower end bit, but I'm also going to I'm gonna take a quick break. Run on fumes today. Alright. Just one more NPC, 3 GM moves, and a mechanic. I'm gonna struggle with the mechanic a bit. I don't know if I'll get that done. Um, Reasoning being that of all of them, the cover has a pretty solid mechanic. I'm gonna actually pull it up. I realize I should probably be pulling stuff up on my second and dragging them in, so I don't have to deal with any stupid things. But yeah, we're almost done. Kind of, not really. It's so far away. Oh, there's a lot of work. And these frames, I'm uh, certainly, I have, so, I'm gonna pull up some things real quick. Shit. Oh yeah, that. That's probably not gonna stick around. So here's the cover. Oh, come on. Get in there. There we go. So that's the cover, and its mechanic is this calling, and it's kind of a set of tethered labels. If one goes up, the other one goes down. If the other one goes down, the other one goes up. Um, and where did I get uh, holy? Oh, you can feel that it's late. I have no attention span anymore. Sorry, guys. The calling kind of is kind of huge for the way that this if the frameworks for everything it pulls you one way and the other and back and kind of stresses this, and that's where I get like I really like this. I had strings, but now I'm free. When your villain goes, so when your villain gets shifted towards and can't, then uh, you get this move. I had strings, but now I'm free, and so I, yeah, that's an Ultron quote. I don't know why what I came, the "I'm still me" came from, where I came up with that, but I think it's literally just that's what I thought would be stated at that point, which that's not the first time I've done something like that. And then to go back to a different point, this is the completion sheet. Um, it's basically my little cheat sheet for how far into this project I am and how long I feel things are going to take. Um, this is basically how I can kind of manage, all this kind of manage and understand. This is kind of like when people say make a list. This was what I had to do because there was a point a bit ago where it was just crushing how big this project felt, and even now it's still kind of terrifying, kind of terrifying to have, like it's not a lot of people, 60 people, relatively speaking, it's not a lot, but to still know there's like 60 people that are expecting something from me, and as I've got listed here, I expect the frames to take 50% of all this work. Like even creating the playbooks, which I had the majority of that done uh, prior to starting with this because I thought that was going to be the bigger issue. Um, when I started writing those, and then I went to make the first frame for the beacon for the demo that was going to come out with the Kickstarter. Or maybe it came out before. I don't know. It's kind of been a minute since that's happened. And I feel really bad about that. But uh, I realized that like it I have a specific type of set of stories that I like to tell, and so that's why even though Beacon was done originally for the demo, Beacon is now yellow, which means I am working on it. The Hunter is complete because I effectively remade the Beacon story in the Hunter, and I had to decide which of those I liked more. And while I liked the David versus Goliath story of the Beacon, I feel like the general narrative that I set up with it worked better with the Hunter, and so I gave that to the Hunter, and now I'm going to have to kind of rework the Beacon. Um, as far as do I have any general themes or storylines for the frames in mind already? Uh, that's where there's a bit of a hiccup. In general, do I know what I want them to do? Yes. But largely it's kind of just like a base guideline for um what the playbooks kind of should be doing. That's the entire reason why I created the frames was like so that people didn't have to wonder like, okay, well, what story is it trying to tell? Um, especially as it goes to this one-on-one uh, style of storytelling. I figured I really needed to give a guide. I couldn't just do the playbooks. It had to be a way for people to like, okay, well, I understand what like um kind of like the doomed like I get what the doomed wants to do. It's all about having that impending uh demise, impending loss in some which way. Usually it's demise, but I've seen people play it different ways. Um, so you've got this lingering thing, but what does that really mean for that to become from like a factor to becoming the larger story? And so that's what the purpose of the frames are. Yeah, kind of a setting um yeah, kind of a setting or adventure quick start. I think that they're because I didn't really have a basis to go off of for these originally when I started making these because I only had masks and a couple of other PBTA that I had been looking through. Um, and and they all kind of have their own little like ways of doing adventures, but they're like fully fleshed out adventures and they're basically like modules. And I just can't write that. I can't. I've never been able to run out of a module, and so my ability to write a module, yeah, it didn't exist. I would say that these are, I realize now, more akin to the adventures in TSL, Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I think that that would be what I would compare these two. More than like the frick, what are they called in masks? Um, because they're not called adventures, they're given a specific name. But yeah, like Iron Red Soldiers, I think is one of them. Playsets. Thank you. Uh, yeah, like playsets where they're giving you the lore, the adventure in 3 acts with NPCs, and just I couldn't do that. So yeah, in terms of how far done we are, this is kind of where my expectation is for kind of, and like I transfer playbooks, they're 5%. I just need to sit down and do those. I don't expect those to take me all too terribly much effort for most of these. Excuse me. But yeah, formatting may take me a bit more than 10%. I don't really know. Um, it kind of depends. I think it. I don't think it would be that bad. The main thing is just we're still dealing with some complications with the art there, and so yeah, that is I'm not looking forward to that all too terribly much, honestly. Um, yeah, it's kind of making me nervous. um, realistically, um, because we uh don't have access. I don't really know if we have access or what's kind of the plan right now as we move forward with that. Um, I'm hoping that I can get the formatting back, but yeah, we're having some hiccups on that, and I'm a little anxious on that. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of something I'm holding out on. Um, so the frames are, uh, they're doing their own. They're going to be a. You're gonna be a bit. I'm kind of a little anxious, but ideally everything works out. Um, okay. Now that we've got the larger stress out of the way, um, but yeah, I don't really know what I want to do for a mechanic, given that like comparatively, because like the hunter, I think what did I do for the hunter? Oh, I still gotta get some. Huh. Shit. Mark the Hunter. I gotta get some placeholders reset and corrected for that one. But so if we just bring this over to here. Come on. There we go. So I did this amass assets. Starting the campaign, list 5 assets they have collected, or the corporation and the Yaks are both looking to gain more control. When the campaign starts, list 5 assets they've collected, one of which being the character's loved one. Whenever they gain a significant asset or one personal to the character, add to the list. Once there are 20 assets listed, they take a dramatic action. If the character can stop the action, the corporation loses 10 assets. If the character can start to reveal the truth, they lose 5 to protect their name. And so this was kind of to balance out, like, the hunter had their list of targets, and then the hunter, and then on the other end you have the corporation with their little game mechanic. It's kind of, while everything is, this is one of the little quirks with this that makes designing for this hack kind of difficult, is that basically what I need to do is create a mini game with each one. It's PBTA, it's powered by masks, realistically, but it is a 2-player game. And it is its own 2-player game, which adds this little quirk into it then when I get stuff like the calling, which adequately defines its own kind of niche in the story, but then I have to figure out a move for the GM. Or a mechanic, not necessarily a move. I'm gonna be honest, this is as much energy as I had tonight. I'm gonna call it a wrap for now. I'm tired. So, thanks for everyone for stopping by. I intend to get the consistent uploads all rolling in a bit here, or not uploads, these live streams all going pretty you know all set up in like, you know, a couple of weeks ideally. I gotta still figure out which days are best. I plan on doing one day that is dedicated to, I'm working on duos. One day every week will be specifically working on duos. The other design day is going to, it could be duos, it could be something like Daegyax or Hoods. It could be me working on programming up a game. I don't really know, but that is another set aside design day. And then the last one I plan on doing is just one day where I'm gonna be playing games and hanging out and chilling and having fun. I have a pretty large Steam library, so I've got plenty of games to get through, but if people have recommendations, I will also take those into account. Probably not immediately, but, you know, steadily. But, yeah. I think that's kind of it. Okay, on updates, kind of all I got. I will see you guys next time I can, next time I can get this stuff done.